Now, on the eve of legislative elections in Bahrain, the kingdom's main opposition group is warning the regime that a failure to bring democracy to the nation will lead to more violence. Leader of Al Wefaq Society, Sheikh Ali Salman, said the Saudi-backed Al Khalifa rulers must end their monopoly on power and state affairs or face a surge in unrest. His comments came after Manama said it's open to dialogue. But according to Ali Salman, talks are possible only if the regime agrees to implement genuine reforms that lead to a real constitution with an elected independent government. Meanwhile, regime forces in Daraz have attacked people who were protesting against Saturday's elections. Manama will hold legislative and municipal polls on Saturday. Al Wefaq and 4 other Sunni and Shia groups have boycotted the vote. For more on the situation, let's go to Manama and talk to Nabeel Rajab, human rights activist and opposition leader. Welcome to the programme, sir. Mr. Rajab, on the eve of the legislative elections, why boycott the vote?
Well, I think we are witnessing a crisis in this country when opposition have pulled out. They pulled out because they have a problem with the system, with the existing institution, which is called parliament, because it cannot legislate, it cannot monitor, it cannot do its job as a parliament. So because they pulled out, they thought that government gonna improve the political arena by improving this legislative body, but instead they have introduced more laws, repressive laws, which make it so difficult to work on the parliament and turn Bahrain to a dictatorship. So the opposition asked for a dialogue since many years. The government of Bahrain refusing dialogue, although they issue a statement here and there talking about dialogue when they are under monitor from the international community, but in the ground there was no dialogue. So the opposition says before going to an election to this body, we should have a dialogue, we should have a reconciliation, we should sit and talk, solve our problem. The problem is that the government is insisting that no talk, no negotiation, no more demand for democracy will be made, and that's the body, you want it or leave it. So that's why the opposition and majority of Bahraini are boycotting this parliament tomorrow.
But, I mean, wouldn't it be to the detriment of the opposition if they boycott the vote? I mean, why not take part and defeat the government through the ballot box?
Yeah, but in case, I mean, in theory, if that works, but we have a trial of 10 years with the same existing parliament. Instead of solving Bahraini problem, made Bahrain in a deeper problem. The number of laws that violate human rights legislated by this existing parliament is more than the laws we had since the independence of Bahrain. Because the opposition, although they are majority, but in the parliament, because the way they have divided Bahrain, they are minority inside the parliament. So what Bahrain government did, they pushed a lot of laws that violate human rights and passed it through this existing parliament while the opposition were there. So what happened is that in reality they gave those laws legitimacy. So the Bahraini opposition, they don't want to give legitimacy to more laws violating in human rights and showing Bahrain as a democratic state, but in reality is a dictatorship. So that's why we also call for Bahrain government and the opposition to sit and to solve their problem, because this parliament, it did not solve Bahrain problem past 10 years. It made the Bahrain problem deeper by participating on it. Now, we should have a proper democracy. Bahraini people have given a lot of life in the past 3 years. Thousands of people in prison right now. You can't go ahead in an election where half of your opposition leader in jail, when each and every Shia family at least have one prisoners inside the jail. Environment for such election does not exist. First, you should create this environment by allowing people to come out from jail, by accepting people to come out from exile without targeting them. Stop those continuous court proceeding against human rights defender and people opposing government policy. Have a dialogue with the opposition to solve your problem, then you go to election. Election will not solve the problem. There is a process has to be done before going to this election. Once you finish this process, once you go into a reconciliation process, then you go on election that where everybody agrees on it, all parties agree on it. But now only the government are heading by themselves with the way they wanted, with the parliament they wanted. With parliament, they have a big hand in that parliament. They can legislate whatever they want. Opposition and people of Bahrain cannot help it. In that case, they have boycotted that election.
And Mr. Rajab, the fact that Sheikh Ali Salman, the leader of the Wefaq opposition movement, says that if the government fails to bring democracy to the nation, it will lead to more violence. I mean, what can we expect from the Bahraini nation?
Well, it is a normal thing when you suffocate people.
I mean, do they want to change their strategy?
No, I don't think that the opposition will change their strategy. But he wants to say that the frustration you are creating, the abandonment of the people demand for a better life, for a democratic future, for social justice, for equality, for freedom. If you don't deal with those demands, then you are in reality, you are pushing people into violence. Opposition will not advocate for violence, and none of the group will advocate for violence. But he's telling Bahrain government, by this, you are creating an environment, encouraging young people to be very hopeless and to go into violence. And this what we don't want to see, what all political parties don't want to see. But after all, our ability, who are advocating for a peaceful struggle, our ability to control youth people, slowly, it's going to be limited if there is no political solution to the problem.
All right, we'll leave it there for the time being. Many thanks to Nabeel Rajab, human rights activist and opposition leader from Manama. Thanks for your time there, sir.